In a much earlier nugget, you and I took a look at the Windows Imaging and Configuration Designer tool. That's the ICD tool. It's part of the Windows Assessment and Deployment Kit, the Windows ADK. In that nugget, you and I were really emphasizing the creation of these custom images that we would deploy. But I wanted to revisit that tool in this nugget because we're going to take a look at provisioning packages, which you could do well after the fact that you deployed all these images out there. Now there's some fine tuning you want to do. I want to show you just how easy this can be with the ICD tool. What might you end up doing with these provisioning packages? Well, the things are very varied. There's a lot of reasons you might do it. You could do it to deploy applications. You could do it to take multiple devices out there in your enterprise and enroll them into some type of multiple device management system. A great example would be to get all of your devices participating in the Microsoft Intune ecosystem. You might distribute certificates so that users can securely connect to resources. How about connectivity profiles like VPN profiles, deploying them this way? In fact, the sky really is the limit with this, since you could apply any particular device policy that you want out to your machines. That's what I'm going to demonstrate for you here with a quick provisioning package. So here you can see I've launched the ICD tool, and what we're interested in doing is some simple provisioning. You can also, by the way, start with the File menu, and you can just say File, New Project, and then you can dictate from here what you're going to be designing. I'll go ahead and call this Cookies for the reason you'll see in a moment. And we notice where we're saving this. This is going to my trainer users folder, documents, and there's going to be a cookies subfolder of the WICD folder. Great. We could put in a description for what this particular project is going to accomplish and choose next. Notice this is the big decision here. We're not doing imaging this time. We're doing a provisioning package to update systems with a policy that are already out there. I'll choose next, and notice we're then able to choose what type of settings we're going to manipulate. Is it just mobile edition settings? Is it just desktop edition settings? For example, we'll choose next, and we could import a provisioning package at this point. This is pretty cool. So if you've got some policy out there already set up in a provisioning package, you could bring that in so that we could do that to the systems and then something else that we're going to dictate in this provisioning package. We'll choose finish, and notice we are brought into the runtime settings for that provisioning package that we're working with right now. We're going to go into policies in this example, and under policies, we're going to go to the browser. Notice there's so many settings we could enforce here for the web browser. We'll go to the allow cookies setting, and we're going to say that cookies are to be blocked. So we'll put in a policy that blocks all cookies. How cool. We can see that policy over here in the selected customizations area. I'll go up and do a file save on these settings. Perfect. Now what we do is we'll create the policy package, the provisioning package, explicitly, to use the correct language. So I go up to export and I export this provisioning package. Notice it's given a version, and notice that we can go in and indicate the owner. This is an IT admin own provisioning package named Cookies. I'll say next, and we could encrypt it. We could sign it with a certificate. I'll say next. And next, as far as the location goes. And finally, we will build this provisioning package. And it says, okay, you've got a cookies.ppkg out there, and we'll choose finish. So I've gone inside that folder that we had created by the Windows Imaging and Configuration Designer, and I've gone into the cookies folder, and there's our cookies ppkg. Keep in mind, really two deployment approaches. Number one, you could bake this provisioning package into your Windows image that you're deploying company-wide, or you could do it after the fact like we're doing. You could put this on a network share, for instance, and then instruct users to install it. You could install it yourself through a group policy push. Lots of options for deploying the package. What we'll do, just to see if all this worked, is we'll right-click this and we will open it. Yeah. So I get a user account control warning, and it says, hey, is this package from a source you trust? I say yes, please add it. And that's it. A very, very simple, silent, for the most part, installation, at least after we trust the provisioning package. But did it work? Well, for that, we're obviously going to have to visit the browser. So here we are in the Edge browser that's set up on Windows 10, and we're going to go to the settings. Inside of the settings option, or this more option here, we'll actually choose settings because that's where cookies would be located. We're going to scroll down and we're going to go into the advanced settings. And look at this. This is our first clue that stuff worked. We see in red, some settings are managed by your organization. This means that there has been a provisioning package applied and there's going to be some settings here that the user can no longer control. Think about it. We're logged in as admin and it's saying we can no longer control it. When we scroll down under the cookies area, we see it is set to block all cookies, and we see that it is no longer configurable. So I hope you are impressed, like I am, with the power of these provisioning packages. Now, please keep in mind when you're setting policy with provisioning packages as we did, there's really no easy way to undo a setting. How you would really do that is in the roundabout way of deploying a new package that has, let's say, cookies enabled. So you would not really be able to quickly undo. You'd provision a new package that actually undoes the setting. I hope you found this nugget informative, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.